I'm Danny Gurry, and you've tuned in to Good Morning Frederick. It's a podcast, about Frederick. Everything, the people, the businesses, the nonprofits, and the cool stuff. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Good Morning Frederick.
Jennifer Elverton from the Artist Angle Gallery, and you are watching Good Morning Frederick.
Good morning, Frederick. Today is Tuesday, December 17th. I'm your host, Danny Gurry. I woke up this morning thinking it was Wednesday. So that's a sad realization because I thought, wow, we're kind of midweek again. But nope, it is only Tuesday. Feels like it should be Wednesday for me, though. I feel like, I've had a long couple of days. I've been working a lot. I'm sorry. I'm trying to also pull up stuff that I should have had ready to go. I've been staying up really late trying to get some projects done. There never, ever seems to be enough hours in the day. And, that's kind of a bummer because I'm one person and, you just try to do what you can do. So anyway, and also, recently there was, I don't like disappointing clients and a client, new client, because some of the people that I have been given to look over at local daily media, WFRE, WFMD, brand new to me. A lot of these people I didn't know before. And there were a couple of mistakes made and I just feel terrible. It just, you do what you can. So I'm begging for forgiveness, publicly and privately, to make sure, to promise that I will make sure nothing like that happens again. Sometimes things are out of your control though, and you can only do what you can do, right? All right, let's talk about the show rundown. I think I'm ready for a couple of days off. I don't know about you. I know we're all getting there. FCPS is off for 2 whole weeks. Friday's their last day. I know a lot of them are looking forward to it too. All right, we got Bob Miller and Chris Michaels joining us today with local news, weather, and sports. We're also going to talk about all the events, as I am the self-proclaimed events queen, and I happen to know a lot of what's happening in Frederick, and I've given you access to the calendar that has it all. It is Tech Tip Tuesday. We're going to talk with Ashley from 34 Blast. We're talking about password management. Oh, God, I hate that. I hate exactly what he talks about today. I can't stand it. And because he's an IT guy, boy, he just, it's hard. It's hard managing all your passwords. And then I get a chance to chat with Karen Yoho, who is the outgoing president of the Frederick County Board of Education, which is, it was a really nice chat. I knew of her and got to know her a little bit better, which is always fun, and really appreciate her, all the work she's done. Good morning to Mama Cone. And if you comment, I'm happy to put it up on screen. Please feel free to interact and engage with the show. That is what it is all about. I love that when you do that. Also, we got a free Maryland Lottery scratch off. All you got to do is text the word gift to 888-465-2944. That's it. Easy peasy. Just a way to say Merry Christmas from Good Morning Frederick. Also, if you want to be invited to the 200th show, which will be invite only, we're going to live stream from 8 to 10 a.m. on January 14th to celebrate the 200th show. You can text as well. Just text and say good morning. I'd love that too. Did you guys see the video of the new wrapped Good Morning Frederick car? Yes, got to thank so many people. First of all, got to thank Jennifer Variale for the photos that she did a while ago. And yeah. Oh, good morning, Mariah. How are you this morning? Hope you're well. Anyway, yeah, Jennifer took the photos. Then Sue Huff from Octavo Designs made it look phenomenal. And then Ken's Automotive and Transmissions helped make the car run better than it's ever run since we've owned it. And Auto Trim actually put the wrap on. So could not have done it without all these great local suppliers, great local businesses. I highly recommend them all. So if you need anything done like headshots, design work, if you need your car fixed and have it running well and you want somebody you can trust who's going to do good work, and if you're looking for tinting, a wrap, or anything aftermarket on your car, I'm telling you, I got people for you for sure. All right, let's go ahead and get this Tuesday, not Wednesday, this Tuesday started. Good Morning Frederick is sponsored by We Help You Move. Whether you're moving across the street or across the country, Nicholas and his team of moving experts can make the moving process easy. We Help You Move is veteran owned and a supporter of the Frederick community. You can find more information at wehelpyoumove.com. Well, looks like Chris just popped right in. So let's go ahead and get started with Chris Michaels from WFMD's Morning News Express. Well, good morning, my friend.
Good morning. I guess you can call me like a piece of toast. I just pop right up out of nowhere, right? How are you?
At least you didn't set off the smoke detectors like my toaster sometimes does.
Well, I got to tell you, I was told I am pretty hot and on fire, so I sometimes do. I do that. I don't want to brag or nothing, but
I love
so
it.
Bob's still under the weather with his sore throat. We do miss him, but you know what? I have him on the morning, so that's the most.
That's right. That's right. You do have him. We'll wait until he gets well. Obviously, there's a lot of people fighting a lot of stuff right now, so everybody
There
needs
is.
to stay healthy and do whatever they can, get plenty of rest. All that stuff.
So, I know Good Morning Frederick. It's a great local show. We talk about local things, but every so often, we like to bring up what me and Bob talk about on the Morning News Express on
Yeah.
WFMD. And on a serious note, the most of the show today, we had Jeff Manasso from Fox News Radio reported on the latest on that horrible shooting, school shooting over in Wisconsin. And it's a topic, if you don't mind, before we get to news, I'd like to get to, because as a father with two daughters in the school systems, it's scary. And I'd like your opinion on things. And what was shocking to me was this school shooting happened to be in a private school, which normally school shooting sad no matter where it happens, but it seems to normally happen in public school systems. And this particular private school, like most private schools I know here in Frederick County, they don't have law enforcement school resource officers in these schools because, again, they are private schools. Um, that might be something that maybe schools, municipalities might want to think about, maybe possibly having school resource officers in these private schools. My daughter went to a private school, but I mean, it would cost. How would we go about doing that? It costs so much money. There's so many private schools. Do we have enough law enforcement officers in the area? So it's just a topic that we were talking about today.
Yeah. I mean, I think, the cynic in me right now is saying we have taught people who are not well mentally that the best place to go to do what they want to do without being impeded is an unarmed school,
Hmm.
right? They're not walking into banks where there are armed guards. They're not walking into, for the most part, other areas where law enforcement is available. And I don't think we don't need to stretch our law enforcement more thin than they are now. I do know there are tons of private companies and even, veterans. I think this country is smart. We could easily put together a private public partnership with people who are trained to maybe it's former law enforcement officers, former veterans, whatever it is. I just know that there is an answer out there, and if we don't start teaching people that they're not going to get far if they go to one of our schools, then we're just going to continue to happen. And it's unfortunate. It really is. But until we stop it and deter it, um, it is going to keep happening, because unfortunately they know that they can get in there and they have at least several minutes, if not longer, as we've seen in some cases, to wreak havoc and be destructive. And I'm sorry that these people are pushed to do these sorts of things. And I do think we have a whole mental health
Absolutely.
conversation that needs to happen. But in the meantime, I don't want our children as sitting ducks in an unarmed facility. I just don't. And I don't see any reason why we would balk at that.
Well, unfortunately, we talk about school resource officers. There has been shootings where unfortunately children have died with school resource officers on campus. You take a look what happened. I think it was in Texas last shooting or two shootings ago. I think there was a school resource officer in the schools who took a lot of flack for that shooting. I don't remember exactly where in Texas, but I know, I remember that happened. But also, too, it kind of brings up about number one. I agree with you 110%, Danny, about the mental health crisis in this country. I could not agree with you more. And that brings up a whole other topic that me and Bob discussed. But one thing I wanted to ask you was metal detectors. Take a look at inner cities, okay? A lot of these inner cities, and I can't believe it, I never thought I'd be alive to talk about this, but take a look at a lot of these inner cities, Danny. A lot of them, New York, Chicago, they have metal detectors in their schools. You don't hear of school shootings in those schools. You hear most of these school shootings out in the suburbs, the country, places like that where metal detectors aren't prevalent. Is that
Well,
something
again,
that we
look,
can do?
it's like everything else. Is it going to stop these things 100%? No, it's not.
Right.
But with a school resource officer or some form of law enforcement or someone armed on the grounds, the potential to do massive destruction is now limited, because you've got somebody who can put into action a lot of the things that it takes other law enforcement who are off campus
Mhm.
minutes to at best minutes to get to. And so, yeah, look, are things still going to happen? Maybe. But if we're deterring 8 out of 10,
Mhm.
that's way better than 0 out of 10.
Absolutely.
And I would, as a parent, I would prefer that, that 80% rather than 0. And
Absolutely.
while we're doing that, then we need to fix or help the men, people who have these mental health issues, and and see if we can go there. But that's a long fix, and I don't want to risk any more lives than we have to. And I just think, hey, put these things in place. Metal detectors, sure, perhaps. I mean, is that going to stop at 100%? No, but it might. Again, a limit. If anything we can do to eliminate more people getting injured, I'm all for it.
Well, the bottom line is something else has to be done because nothing's working now, as we can tell, as we can say. And I'll get into news in a second. But again, I just think it's a topic that's is so important to talk about with all the viewers that you have and people around Frederick who have
Yeah,
kids.
I mean, look, and I get it. Look, it's it keeps happening, and car accidents keep happening. People still drive drunk. We're never ever going to solve 100% of the issues we have as a culture, just because people people are people, and they're going to do what they want to do, whether or not we put in, and this is the one thing. Every time something like this happens, they're calling for more gun restrictions, they're calling for more bans, they're calling for more of this and that, and that to me is not the answer either, because it's there. Bad people are going to do bad things, no matter. And I prefer to allow, our law-abiding citizens to be able to protect themselves should they want to do that. They have the right, and I would rather give them that right. So, I think let's look at other options. I think, eliminating these options 100%, not having that discussion, because that tends to be what happens. It's all or nothing. And I think we ought to look at how can we start to find ways to protect our citizens, and especially our vulnerable children. I think we ought to look at those solutions.
I agree. Now, the only thing I would say to that is, and this is strictly my opinion. When we were growing up, we didn't have these school shootings. When I was going to school, it didn't happen. It really started to happen the first one was Columbine in 98. I shouldn't say they didn't happen. I'm sure they happened, but they didn't happen as much as they're happening now. And strictly my opinion, and I said this to Bob and I said this on air, I think it's an issue with social media. Sorry to say it. I think that's an issue. I think kids are going on social media. They're, things are being planted in their brains. My oldest daughter, Adriana, is 13 years old. Okay. She does not have a social media account, no Facebook. She will not have a social media account until she's 18. She doesn't want social media. Why does she not want social media? Because, me and my wife, we're always in her life. What do I mean by that? Well, on the weekends, we take her places. We go places. No place expensive. We go to things that are free, farms and stuff like that. It's hard to keep your kids off of social media, but if you try your best and not have them addicted to social media, I really, truly, in my heart, think that could help the issue. Again, just my opinion. I might be wrong.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think where social media negatively impacts children is more in the sense of the mental health crisis, right?
Mhm.
Because then you've got a lot of issues with kids feeling inferior and insecure, and the bullying and all of that stuff that goes on. So, 100%. Now, will that did that stuff go on before social media when we were kids? It absolutely
Mhm.
did. It just didn't go on a massive scale.
Mhm.
You didn't have one person who was able to impact thousands or tens of thousands of people like it happens now with the access to social media. So 100%, if I had to do it again, I would have restricted, especially my daughter, uh, more tightly than we did, even with cell phones and smartphones and all of that. I would have waited. Now that I'm older and they're older, and I see what can happen. But again, I think what you're doing, I think, is the more impactful part of why your daughter is going to be great is because you're involved in her life, period. So even if she had social media today, the fact that you do things as a family, you're part of her life, you're involved, um that in and of itself would have a bigger impact than the kids who utilize tablets and phones and media um to babysit themselves, right? And so to keep themselves occupied. So by keeping your kids occupied, talking to them, being a part of their lives, you will have a greater chance to know if something is going on. Is it still 100%? No, because kids do stuff, and there are parents who are, again, dumbfounded. Like,
Right.
it just comes out of left field. So we can't protect people 100% of the time, but I'd love to make sure we're higher than zero.
Absolutely. And that goes back to what we were talking about, the Kris Kringle parade, obviously off air, about how you involve your kids, always have involved your kids, and the different promotions you've done throughout the career, including they came with us at the Kris Kringle parade. Again, it keeps them off social media. You're doing things together as a family. You don't have to spend $1 million to do things as a family. It's as simple as, hey, kids, join me and your father, as we do this for work or we go there. And that keeps them off social media. So kudos to you, which is why your kids turned out the way they did, even though they had social media. You actually spent time with them. And getting the news real quick, because I know you've probably got a million things going on today. It doesn't get any better, unfortunately, the news. The Carroll County Sheriff's Office continues its investigation into a double shooting last Friday, which left one man dead and the second person injured. But the name of the deceased has been released. He is Benjamin Billings, 33, who had an Owings Mills address. The other man is a 42-year-old from Finksburg who was transported to an area hospital. And just a FYI, Frederick County Government's office, and I'm sure everybody knows this, will be closed for Christmas. Frederick County Government will be closed Tuesday, December 24th, and Wednesday, December 25th for the Christmas holiday. County offices and services will return to regularly scheduled hours Thursday, December 26th. And if you're looking to give a good gift for the holidays, how about the gift of blood? What am I talking about? Well, the American Red Cross is always in need of all blood types. The American Red Cross is in need of blood donations as the holiday celebrations continue in December. The American Red Cross strongly encourages donors to keep the blood supply at the top of your mind. There's a lot of people out there who need blood and they need your help. So it's a good thing to do for the Christmas holidays. And taking a look at the weather, it is currently 48. Supposed to get to a high of 61 today, Danny. Not bad, right, for December?
Wow. Yeah, that would be nice. It looks kind of yucky out there, but we'll see what happens.
I always say in the wintertime, I should always have the right to bear arms. So there we go. I don't have to wear long sleeve shirts. Going to get down to a low of 32 tonight, clear skies, and taking a look at tomorrow, which is hump day, right? Don't they call Wednesday hump day? I always feel weird saying hump day. I don't know. It sounds dirty to me. I don't know why. Then again, I'm really immature. So tomorrow, hump day. It's going to be a high of 49. Showers early, becoming a steady rain later in the day. And then tomorrow night, rain early, decreasing clouds late, and we're looking at a low of 35. And
all right.
No sports, Danny. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I knew I was just going to cut you off. I wasn't even going to say anything. I was just going to let you go, but you
I threw myself under the bus. Yes.
All right. We will see you a little bit later. And please make sure Bob knows we hope he feels better.
Absolutely. We'll do, Danny. Take care. Have a great day. And as Bob would say, good morning, Frederick.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. We're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to come back with what's happening in Frederick. We got Tech Tip Tuesday with Ash from 34 Blast. We got Karen Yoho, president of Frederick County Board of Education. All of that is coming up next. Travel better with Antietam World Travel Service, your gateway to worry-free journeys. With their extensive network, unmatched experience, and personalized services, you can explore the world with confidence and ease. When you work with Antietam World Travel Service, you get convenience, experience, and connections. Go to AntietamTravel.com now and get started on your dream vacation.
Cosmec Healing handcrafted small batch tinctures and transdermal salves, double third-party tested for quality you can trust. If you've got pain, headaches, or anxiety, our products are here to help you find relief. Patient over profits mindset, 'cause we're patients too. CosmecHealing.com.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shining flattery beyond compare.
Yes, if you haven't seen a performance at the Met, you're missing out. Check it out. All right, it is time for what is happening in Frederick, and always lots of great stuff. It is coming right now. Happening in Frederick is sponsored by Taco Bar in Frederick and Taquito in Hagerstown. Taco Bar is located in West Point Plaza, right off Route 40 in Frederick, and Taquito is at 812 Frederick Street in Hagerstown. Taquito offers the same great quality food as Taco Bar, but you get a drive-through experience, which means it's fast, fresh, and delicious. Go to tacobar1.com or Taquito by tacobar.com for more information on either of those restaurants. And we congratulate Raul on the opening of Taquito and wish him all the success up there. So if you're ever in Hagerstown on Frederick Avenue, stop by Taquito for sure. Okay, let's go to what is happening in Frederick. Remember, to see the calendar, just go to promocircus.com, click on Everything Frederick Live, and you'll see a calendar of events. And you should see a live link in the description of the full 1 hour shows. And don't forget, if you have an event you want included on the calendar, get it to me and I will get it on for you. Okay, wishing you a happy holidays from Maryland Lottery and Good Morning Frederick. All right, you've got until Friday. Text GMF to 888-465-2944. And each weekday, one texter is going to get 10 Maryland Lottery scratch-offs. Then on December 23rd, which is Monday, somebody is going to get $100 worth of Maryland Lottery scratch-offs. So exciting. Can't wait to find out who that is, but you got to be in it to win it. So text GMF to 888-465-2944. And here's one. No catch. Every single person who texts the word gift is going to get a Maryland Lottery scratch off. Nothing else. You're going to, text GMF too, and then text gift. And then I'm going to reach out and give you instructions on coming to pick up your Maryland Lottery scratch off. Easy peasy. That's it. And while you're there, you're going to be able to, because you're going to come pick it up at the Home of Everything Frederick, which means you get to enter the other contests and you get to pull the number off the wall and you're going to get tons of things. So if you want to get hooked up with some freebies before the holidays, I actually got texted from, I think it was Natalie, who said she went and she got a long sleeve Good Morning Frederick t-shirt. That was her gift. So there you go. She just walked into the shop, showed that she was subscribed, showed that she had texted. There she goes. She's got a brand new long sleeve Good Morning Frederick t-shirt. We'd love to give you stuff too. That's what we're all about, is sharing the love this holiday season. All right. So this is what I was just talking about. Just do the things, get the gifts. You just have to stop in at 401 North Market Street and you get to pull a number off the wall. I should have taken a picture yesterday because there's way few numbers on the wall right now, but we still got plenty. I do believe we will still have them even after the holidays, unless there's a mad rush. So take your time, get downtown, stop by the Home of Everything Frederick. All right, if you want to have your self-guided Christmas lights map, all you have to do is go to promocircus.com, enter your address if you decorated your home, and then right below where you enter your address, or you don't have to enter any addresses, but if you know of any, it's certainly helpful because I can add them to the map. But then you can just have a look at that map right there. And you can follow that around Frederick, which is great. And obviously, there's way more now than there were when I took that screenshot. But I do have on there all the regional, the drive-through, the ticketed, even some free events throughout the whole region. So including down in Ocean City, which is that one on that far right side. Oops, wrong way. Okay. Today is the 17th. Speaking of drive-through or light shows, head over to Inwood Drive in Adamstown and take a little donation for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They do their shows from 4:30 to 10 p.m. And then how about heading to the White Rabbit, 5:30 to 8:30. Our friend Michael has his book release. He's an amazing photographer, has captured some just stunning photos of Frederick, and he's put them all into a great book, which makes an amazing gift for somebody on your list. And then head over to well, you can register to come to the Home of Everything Frederick tonight from 6 to 8. There is a boxwood class with Ori. Mama Cone and I will be there doing that. I can't wait. I love crafting, and it's so nice under the direction of somebody like Ori, who is so skilled. And at 8 p.m., it is the Frederick Children's Chorus Messiah Sing Along at the Weinberg Center. You will need tickets for that. Tomorrow, Frederick County Animal Control has their microchip clinic. It's $20, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. No appointment necessary. They are right on Rosemont Avenue. I don't know why I just said Boulevard. This is the lack of sleep. This is what's happening. 6 to 9 p.m., Santa and Mrs. Claus are driving through some local neighborhoods, so be on the lookout there. Let's see, where are they? They're at Jefferson Tech Park, Westview South, and Robin Meadows. So you'll be able to see them and wave as they pass by. Thursday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., it's Holiday at the Gardens. That's at the Botanic Gardens down in D.C. I've never been there. It would be really fun to do a day trip and check that out. Of course, the Home of Everything Frederick is open. I actually heard we're going to be open Wednesday as well. So if you want to get over there Wednesday, you can. And then Santa and Mrs. Claus are driving through additional neighborhoods. Oh, no, this is the Inwood Drive. Sorry, my fault. Inwood Drive in Adamstown is open as well. All right, what did we add? Oh, Winter City Lights in Olney, 5:30 to 9 p.m. That is a ticketed event, but that would be kind of cool, and it's not that far of a drive to get there. On Saturday, you can check out Lights on the Bay in Annapolis, celebrating 30 years, and the proceeds benefit the SPCA. We love that. And at 6 o'clock on Saturday, the Jeeps are going to be decorated and driving around Urbana. And if you have a blanket, you can donate a new blanket donated to Sleep in Heavenly Peace. That would be awesome. They're doing collections while they're driving, or you can just head to the Urbana Fire Department where they're finishing and turn in your donation there. And then on Sunday, you can head to Merry and Bright, which starts and finishes at Frederick Social downtown. You need to go to MarylandDoubleDeckers.com to get your tickets for that, but it is a really, really fun tour. Okay, here's some other things coming soon next week. Merry and Bright continues. The 27th and 28th, it is the TJ High School Candy Cane Classic, which is 16 girls high school basketball teams, high school and prep, so public and prep, competing in a round robin there. It should be fun. Okay, New Year's Eve. Next week, I am going to give you the whole skinny on New Year's Eve. I just saw a couple people post new events coming, so I'm going to do a whole list, and we're going to do that next week. However, just know that from now through December 31st, you can enter to win free groceries for a year to benefit Frederick County Animal Control. Your $25 or your $20 donation gets you 10 entries. $25 donation gets you 10 entries into this raffle. And then, of course, January 14th, it is our 200th show. And it's going to be a ton of fun. And I am putting together so many amazing prizes. You're going to get swag if you come hang out. You're going to get prizes. There's going to be a ton of fun stuff. There's going to be food and beverage. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to be streaming live the whole time, which will be fun too. So not a formal show then, but we'll have lots of people to chat with. February 5th, it's the African Americans. I forgot to update this one again. Tickets are now on sale. WeinbergCenter.org. Please go buy your tickets for this great evening. Also right now on sale is the Bootleggers Ball tickets, which happens on February 8th. You're going to want to get your tickets now. And then March 5th, the African Americans of Excellence exhibit auction is happening and reception at Warehouse Cinemas of Frederick. Okay, if you want all the events, just remember you got to go to that calendar, which is at the Home promocircus.com on our website. You will find it there. All right, one more quick break. Then we're back with your tech tip for Tuesday, talking about password management. And we've got Karen Yoho as well. All of that just after these few messages.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come fling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art Splatter Room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
A&S Construction is a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and they are right here in Frederick. A&S Construction specialize in roofing, siding, windows, gutters, patios, and decks. Pretty much anything on the exterior of your home they can help you with. Especially with all the rain and the wind lately, you're going to want to make sure your house is ready for the winter. If you've got windows that are letting in cold air, you don't need that, especially with the price of electricity right now. You're going to want to contact Sandra at A&S Construction. And because you watch Good Morning Frederick, you can get $750 off any roof or siding replacement or $50 off any roof repairs. Just let her know you saw her on Good Morning Frederick, and she will extend that offer to you. All right. Let's get lectured from my husband about password management. I know, I'm very bad at this. I have to change my passwords a lot, and then I get very frustrated. But he's got some tips for you on what you can do. Here's Ash, Tech Tip Tuesday with 34 Blast.
Hi again, it's Ashley from 34 Blast with another week of tech tips. This week I'm going to talk about best practice.
I don't know what happened there. Let's try that again. We're gonna, I don't know why this gets so antsy sometimes. So bizarre. Thank God I don't like just go take a nap or anything, and I'm hanging out trying to make sure all this happens. All right, I got to go back into this. Shows December, what's today? 17th. Here we go. Let's try this.
This week I'm going to talk about best practices for password management. This is going to be a hot button issue for some people because I know what you're going to say. I've lived it too, so I know exactly how you feel. Even though I'm in the game, I still understand your pain. Okay, so passwords are extremely important to basically keep your information secure. I mean, that's basically it. It's just about keeping people that aren't supposed to be touching your stuff away from your stuff. And I hear this a lot, that it's passwords are ruining my life. I have to have passwords for everything, all your social media accounts, all your emails that you may have. You may have 2 or 3 emails. You may have all your work passwords. You may have a bunch of portals that you use for your health insurance company or your general life. On average, you're probably going to have, I'm being generous here, 30 passwords for different things in your life. That's at the low end. So let's think of passwords as the key to your house. You wouldn't just give everyone a key to your house and say, hey, there you go. So what we want to do is we want to keep them as secure and as inaccessible to anybody else other than you. So let's get on to this part, and this is going to be a fun one. Number 1, use strong passwords. Now, I don't think I really have to tell you about this, but a password that is password is not really secure. Or a password that is 123456 is not really secure either. So we need to make them as complex as possible so that nobody can accidentally stumble upon checking them and getting to your information. Even like a password 123, not secure. But you should have a combination of uppercase, lowercase, special characters, and numbers. So I think everyone knows that, especially when you go to sign up for anything online these days. It always comes up with a list of criteria of how long. It's going to be 16 characters long. It's going to have all these combinations. So everybody knows about that. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse on that one. Next part is, and this is probably one that I'm going to get some hate about, don't reuse the same password. Now I hear you saying, Ashley, there's too many passwords to remember. I get it. It's for your own safety. It really is. It's basically, if you use the same password, as I said, 30 different places you need to learn. If you use the same password for all 30 of those, person gets that once, they've got access to everything in your life. So we don't want to make it easy for the hackers out there to get your stuff. So try your best. Try your best. I know it's hard to have a unique password for every single one of your accounts. And then you wonder, well, now that I've got all these 30 different passwords for all these different places, how do I keep control of that? Well, here you go, lucky. They have things called password managers. So password managers will store all your passwords for you. Back in the day, before password managers even existed, what did people do? They had a notepad. They wrote down the web address, the username, and the password. Now, I had that back in the day before password managers existed, and it worked fine for me until I didn't update that notepad anymore, and I needed to work out what it is. So it had its place. Time has moved on. So always look for a reliable password manager. Now there are a bunch out there, like LastPass or Dashlane or Bitwarden. Now one that I like is called 1Password, and there is a fair amount of security on that. It hasn't been breached by anything at all, and it's very secure. And I have a master password, and obviously, which leads me on to the next part, 2FA recognition. So even with all these password managers, they should have 2FA, and also all your accounts should have 2FA as well. 2FA is becoming very commonplace now. You probably know that by, you go to sign into a website and it'll say, hey, I just want to double check exactly who you are. I'm going to send you a text message, or I'm going to send you an email to the email that we have on file, and it'll have a 6-digit or a 7 or 8-digit code in there that I'll want you to put in there to double verify that you are who you are. 2FA is a wonderful thing. Embrace it and use that as well. Next part, and I know this is going to be tough for some people, regularly update your passwords. Now, when you say regularly update your password, Ashley, what do you mean regularly update? What, every day I've got to update my password? No, I recommend probably every 30 or 60 days you should be changing your passwords. And this is specifically into places like signing into your bank, or your health insurance portal, or your doctor's portal, or your email, because they're very important to you. Now, the moment you say, it's not that important, I'm not going to change the password, is the time it's going to happen. And I don't want it to happen. So if you change it, then basically update your password manager with the new changes, but also it keeps the hackers guessing as to where you are. Next is in relation to password recovery options. This happens a lot nowadays, where you get emails coming in saying, hey, your password's expired, when it hasn't, and it'll be a link to go somewhere else. So, or even if you go to a website that you've used a lot and you, for whatever reason, you can't remember your password, be careful of that password recovery options, because if you use, when you're signing up for these portals, it'll ask you your mother's maiden name. or your first pet's name, or the street you grew up as a kid, or your second grade teacher. Be careful of those ones because they reuse the same prompts all the time. Now, if you use the same questions all the time when you're using those security questions, it potentially leaves your account exposed as well. So as part of entering those security questions, they should be included in your password manager so that you can refer to those in the future if you need to. But I don't think you will, because your password manager is going to have everything in there and you're going to be changing your passwords all the time. Next, once again, I've talked about this before, keep your software updated so we don't have any security holes and we don't have to worry about that. Okay, here we go. Strong passwords, multi-factor authentication. Definitely look into a password manager. They're not that expensive, but they can save you a lot of time and a lot of headaches and a lot of drama if your accounts get compromised. I hope that's helped. Take it easy on me in the comments, but I'm here to help. I truly am. But I have been where you guys are, and I do feel your pain, because you can go into password rabbit hole, circling down with all the different passwords, and you think you can remember them all in your head. No, that's why the password manager was created, to help you do that. I hope it's helped. If you have any questions, let me know.
All right. Oh, I give him heck all the time, so feel free. I know what we got to do. It's just hard. It's hard to remember all the different passwords. And then, when you have the ones that make you change it and you're like, oh, you can't use a password you've used before. And it's like, oh my goodness, help me. All right. Let's talk about who's doing good in our neighborhood. Doing Good in the Neighborhood is sponsored by Pulling for Veterans, a nonprofit that educates the public on PTSD. You can help educate the public by renting one of their trailers, starting at just $1 per hour. The trailer is filled with information about PTSD and how to help. Plus, each trailer honors a vet and acts as a rolling memorial. For more details, go to pullingforveterans.org. Pullingforveterans.org. All right, I got a chance to chat with Karen Yoho, who is our current and outgoing president of the Board of Education. And here she is. At 401 North Market Street, I'm with Karen Yoho. Let's kind of go back. Are you from this area?
Well, 43 years in Frederick County when my son was born. I'm originally from Nevada.
What is happening today? Obviously, my system is responding just like I am to today, as far as, oh goodness, somebody's at my door. Hang on a second. We're at 401 North Market Street. I'm with Karen Yoho. Let's kind of go back. Are you from this area?
Well, 43 years in Frederick County when my son was born. I'm originally from Nevada, moved a lot as a kid because my dad was a scientist.
Oh, wow.
So that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I met my husband in high school, and then we moved to Frederick County when our son was going to be born. So
Really? What made you choose Frederick County?
we went to Damascus High School, so it was not that far.
Okay, so you were, okay, very good, very good. And when you got here, what was it that you guys loved about Frederick?
Well, to be completely honest, coming
you
from
hate it?
Montgomery County, no, we didn't at all. I joke about Monrovia because it's right over the county line. So
Yeah.
it was close to my in-laws. My parents were in Boyd's at the time, so it was still very close. And I joke that Monrovia was the location for all the Damascus High School people that were in the witness protection program, because a lot of us
Everybody went one place.
Yeah, it was cheaper. It was just cheaper.
Sure.
But I could talk for a long time about what's so great about Frederick. And yesterday I was at the 10-year anniversary and just like Brad Young when he was giving his proclamation to them, and he said he just listed a whole bunch of them. Well, they're all partners with the school system,
right?
And it just, people say this all the time, and when you only live here, like, is it really true? But then they'll go somewhere else and they'll say, no, it really is true.
Yeah.
It's a caring community.
It is a very caring community. So when you came here, what job were you doing then?
Stay-at-home mom.
Okay, that's a big
Yes,
job.
yes.
That is a big, unpaid, tough job.
Yeah.
And so you raised your son, just one son?
No, I have a son and 2 daughters.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I was the Girl Scout leader, the Cub Scout
taxi
leader.
driver.
Yes,
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 yes.
and the softball coach for
Yeah.
youth, and the PTA president. And that's really probably
That's how
what
you
gets me
got
on my
here.
trajectory to where I am today.
Okay,
So.
yeah, because typically that's what happens, right? You get involved and you start to go, wait a minute, like, how can we affect change?
Right.
And I love and so appreciate people like you who say, well, let's change it, or let's do something about it rather than just complaining about the way things are, right? Because that doesn't do any good for anyone. So what did you see that led you to want to run for, was Board of Education your first kind of thing for Ray?
Well, after my kids all got in school, I had a teaching degree. I went to college, traditional age, but I had stayed home.
Yeah.
But then I did teach in Frederick County schools for 25 years, elementary, 3 different elementaries.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that really kind of led to that. I see. Yeah.
And while I was with PTA, I was PTA president 3 different times, helped open Windsor Knolls Middle School, Urbana High School, and I learned a lot about construction, first of all. How school construction is so hard to understand. It's so counterintuitive.
It is.
But being part of it, you learned a lot. Look at developments that were approved 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, if they'd stayed giving us the money 20 years ago, they'd be saying, hello, you built a school, there's nobody in it.
Yeah.
We could probably find kids to go
Yeah.
in.
I think
But
so.
yeah, that's, and you have to justify, and then there are colors of money. If you look back at our January, I think, meeting, the county executive came with Janice Spiegel, who does school construction for the county, and they showed how you can't spend every pot of money for every kind of construction.
Yeah.
So it's
I get it. I know it's
incredibly
very
complicated.
complex. I know.
And there's just
all
not
budgets
enough
are.
money.
Yeah.
There's just not enough.
Yeah.
So
Which is, it seems shocking when you think that the budget is almost $1 billion. And you think in our little town, and I still feel Frederick is a little town. I mean, it's just the charm of that. But that seems shocking.
we have 2 budgets. We have operating.
Yeah.
And we have capital.
Gotcha.
Capital is when you have
fields and buildings.
well, the
and,
buildings. I was going to say you can have
lights.
some smaller projects that will go under capital, but most, I'm sorry, under operating.
Right.
Most of the things that have to do with school construction go under capital.
Okay, so you taught.
Yep.
And then you said, I'm not done trying to affect change.
And I got very involved with the union. Blame it on my parents. I'm a joiner. I'm there's a job, fine, those kind of people. And so I got involved with the union, and I've always liked politics. I mean, even in 1980, when I was pregnant with my son, I'm standing at the Montgomery County Fair, handing out literature for an independent candidate back there, John Anderson, for president. And so I was always interested in politics. And so I got on the Government Relations Committee. And so for many years, I helped with endorsement process and helped on a lot of campaigns, and so saw it from that side, which was very valuable. And I said to my husband a few years before I retired, I said, someday I'm going to run for school board.
Oh, okay.
And
so you had the seed, you knew it was there, you had, because you got to see it from the backside, right? And so you saw,
valuable.
hey, I know what needs to happen in order to be successful.
Yeah.
What was it like running for an office like that?
I was, even one of the union people, she would try to tell people, it's a hard job. I'm like, it's been so much fun. And she's like, don't listen to her. But I had just come out of the not even come out of the classroom. I was campaigning while I was still working for the primary. And I got to run with Brad Young and Jay Mason and Camden Rayner. And we got along. And in the system, teachers had been used to voting for me because you run to be a delegate to the national conference and the state conference. And I always did well with the votes between my kids and me and committees and things. So a lot of teachers already knew my name. So that gave me a solid base. Running with Brad Young, Yoho Young, brought us to the bottom of the ballot. People were already there for him, and Yoho. So it was almost ideal. It really was.
Now, how long is your term? I mean, do you run again, or
I'm in my second
You're in your
term.
that's
Yeah.
right. You're in your
They're
second.
4-year
so
terms.
in 2 years you finish.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And now we have just had the election. I think they've just certified it, which means you have 3 new people joining.
Correct.
So the way I understood it when I interviewed all of them is it shifts 4 and 3.
Yes.
At positions every 2
Correct.
years. And so you have Jamie Brennan, Colt Black, and Janie Monnier.
Yes.
I love I love her. I think she's going to be great. How is that when you have new people coming into the board and maybe some differing ideas? How have you found that so far?
To the staff, and having been 25 years on the staff side, always unsettling.
Okay.
You know, fear of the unknown. You
Sure.
just don't know. And around the state, with our state organization, MABE, Maryland Association of Boards of Education, we lost 3 people so far, well, 4 with possibility of another one just on the executive board. So that's a lot of turnover.
Yeah.
And so sometimes there's a lot of turnover, sometimes there's not. This time, 3 candidates, you know, the 3 previous seat holders, none of them chose to run again.
Gotcha.
So we knew it would be 3 new.
Okay.
That at least was one known.
Yeah.
You know? But you know, we're setting up. We've got a retreat planned. I've sent a welcome email. The superintendent did the same. Our executive assistant has been in touch with all of them, and now they'll start to feel really overwhelmed because it's a lot right away. But we have a retreat planned in December, and we'll just start to get to know each other.
Absolutely.
So.
What do you think is next for you after your term is finished?
I've already made it public that I'm not running again.
Yes. Okay.
And
so you could run.
Yes, we don't have statute of limitations.
There's no.
Other
no
counties have that.
Okay.
We, and of course, you know, county council has 3 terms, county executive has 2. Right now, Board of Ed in Frederick County has none. It hasn't been a major problem. There's been enough turnover.
Right, to keep things fresh and changing and
So I guess if that gets to be, you always have legislation reaction to things, right? But it has not been a problem for us. I mean, we've only had elections since 2002, I believe. Before that, it was all appointed boards.
Okay,
So.
that's why, that's, I moved back here. Okay, 2007 I moved back. So it would have already been election
Yeah,
for that.
and my big concern with elected school board, I wasn't actually in favor of it at first because I was afraid nobody would run. Well, 16 candidates 2 years ago, 17 this time.
Yeah.
That is
You're
not the
okay.
issue.
Yeah,
so,
I think we're good.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's great that so many people want to step up and have an impact on the future of the children and our system. I think that's always good. Even though it may be unsettling, hopefully it's exciting at the same time, and that people bring in fresh ideas and maybe try to affect change that way.
Absolutely.
So not running again. What next? Are you gonna relax?
I kept saying, well, by then I'll be 70. My husband will retire. He has his own little electrical business, commercial contracting.
Yeah.
It's right now just him, and he kind of hires some temp labor when he needs help. I don't think he's going to be ready to retire. He said about a month ago, what am I going to do if I'm not doing my job? So I think as long as he likes it, he'll keep his hand in. I wanted to start doing some traveling.
I was just going to say.
Yes, isn't that what everybody did? And I'm actually going with 2 friends to Japan in April. So I'm excited about that.
That's exciting.
But I'm in Leadership Frederick this year, and I would love to get more involved with nonprofits.
Yes.
So that's kind of what I see myself doing.
I
after
100%
this.
would see you doing that. We talked a little bit about SHIP celebrating their 10-year City Youth Matrix. You were introduced through the Impact Club.
Yes,
and you guys, we've been talking about it on the show, but if you don't remember, Impact Club is really collective giving. It is really crowdsourcing funds in its purest way.
Yeah.
It's grown so much. I think you guys have like 300 members, 400?
I think it's up to 400 members.
Yes. So you guys all commit to contributing once a quarter, a certain amount.
$100 a quarter.
And then that's so affordable. I really need to join.
Yeah.
I really need to join.
Yes.
And then once a quarter, you have 3 nonprofits who come and pitch to the group, and the group votes.
Yeah.
And then they get the money.
Yes,
So
an
fun.
amazing amount of money.
Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah. That money for some of our organizations is really changes the trajectory
Yeah.
of what they can achieve. And even the non-winners get a pretty decent stipend for just showing up and taking the time and pitching. And like you said, it's a great way to hear from either the board or the presidents or the people who are affected by those organizations and those stories.
Amazing.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, then I think the next time we have you back, it's to hear about Japan. I can't wait to hear all about that. You'll be the travel girl then next. Well, look, I appreciate the time so much. It's been so great to get to know you a little bit more. And I know you guys would feel that way too. And we thank you so much for watching. Oh, yes. We thank you very much. That was really fun. It was really great to get to know her. All right. Coming up on tomorrow's show, I've got Gina from the AR Workshop, new owner on East Street. If you've never been to the AR Workshop, I think it's time we do that. Let's do a group thing and go there. And then I've got Monica Pierce live from 10th Ward to talk about her special events going on there over the next couple days. Hopefully we'll have Bob back, but we'll have Chris, of course, from WFMD's Morning News Express. And of course, we're going to talk about all the events coming up for the weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and let's get out there and let's be great, Frederick. I know you can do it. I can do it. You